unfortunately for many of us, icebreakers actually work. Those cheesy icebreakers that you probably hate to do, they make people more creative. They build belief and get people in the mindset to bring their best ideas. This research shows that singing in groups facilitates faster social bonding. And this research shows that whenever you share an embarrassing story with a group, your creativity with that group is actually going to increase. So as we start to think about hosting creativity sessions and facilitating virtually, we need to break the ice. Now we know icebreakers work, so what are some icebreakers that you can use to get the creativity flowing? Here are 9 of my favorite that you can steal. Number 1, ask participants to find a physical object that represents how they're feeling or who they are. Then ask them to hold it up to the camera like this, so I might hold this up. And then you can either call on people or in the chat have them explain it. So I might say that I'm feeling nervous, my stomach's in knots, so I have this knot pillow. That's a great way to get cameras on and get everyone participating at once. Second, pass the mic. Ask a question to somebody and have them pick the next person to answer. This keeps everyone on their toes because they don't know when they're going to get called on, and it helps them talk to one another, so you start to build that social connection. Number 3, the 9-dot challenge. I love getting people in a frame of mind of thinking differently. So the 9-dot challenge is great because it provides a lesson as well as a fun exercise. So what you do is you hold up 9 dots, a 3x3 square, and you ask them to draw 4 straight lines intersecting all the dots without lifting up their pen. Give them 30 seconds so they don't have much time, and they're going to mostly try to draw lines inside of the box. But the trick to the 9-dot challenge is actually drawing your line outside of the box, and then down, and then up and over. With those 4 straight lines, you intersect all the dots. So this is a great way to start talking about thinking outside of the box, reframing problems, and just getting them to use a physical object while sharing their results. Number 4, the avalanche. This is one of my favorites that Cam Hauser showed me, and in this avalanche, you find someone who's maybe having a hard day or just needs some love, and you have them share briefly about what they're going through and what they need help with. And then on the count of 3, you have everybody at the same time unmute and shout praise and love on that person at the same time. It'll sound like a cacophony of love and energy, and you probably won't be able to hear much, but the feeling that it evokes is amazing. That person will feel safe and loved and supported no matter what they're going through. And it's a great way to get everyone off mute, to get cameras on, and to get energy flowing. Number 5, the camera shout out. Ask everyone to turn their cameras off and give them a challenge, such as, what do you look like when it bears charging at you? On the count of 3, ask everyone to turn on their cameras with the face that they would make. Even better, take a screenshot of their faces and you can upload it and talk about it. But it's a great way to get cameras on, get people thinking creatively, and just being a little bit silly with one another. Number 6, finish that line. This is a great way to get people acting a little bit silly, to get their mics and cameras on, and it's also a fun way to see how old people are, which generation maybe they're in. I'm going to sing a line and then I'm going to call on someone to finish that line. So I might sing, you and me going fishing in the, and then I'd call on someone and then we'll see if they can finish the line. Number 7, Emoji Explosion. Now, if you're on Zoom, you don't have a lot of emoji options. If you're using a tool like Butter, you can see that there's not only a ton of emotions, but also sound effects. So what we want to do is, on the count of 3, have everyone click the emoji or the sound effect that they like best, that represents their mood best, that whatever they want to share. So you can kind of decide the criteria. But have them look at the emojis, give them a little bit of time, and then go 1, 2, 3, and everyone hits the emoji button, and you'll see what noises or what visuals appear. Number 8, get to know you polls. Now, get to know you polls are great for large groups if you want to kind of find some commonality. Ask slightly silly questions that are hopefully illuminating as well. You might ask things like, if you could travel anywhere in the world next, which of these 4 places would you go to? Which of the following foods would you never eat? Which of the following things have you done? And by having people vote, you get to know your audience a little bit and have them find connection among one another that could be discussion topics when they go into breakout rooms. Number 9, we know from the research that embarrassing stories actually help groups work better together. So instead of having people share their embarrassing stories, tell them the prompt that you want them to think of one of the most embarrassing stories of their life. They're not going to share it publicly, but have them think of one word that represents that story. Then on the count of 3, have everyone type that word in the chat and hit enter at the same time. So have them type it in the chat, and on the count of 3, everybody hit enter, and you'll see a flood of hilarious words without context, and maybe, just maybe, when they're in small groups, they'll find the context and learn those stories. So these are just a few icebreaker ideas that you can use on any video conference platform. Some of them will work better on tools like Butter, others will work just great on Zoom or even in person, but the takeaway is icebreakers actually work.